You're sitting alone at home. The light from your computer is the only thing that's lighting up your room as you sit there in the 3 a.m. silence. The website displays a page from an online shopping site. On the payment confirmation screen, you've just bought the Kyoko Kirigiri bunny statue, which drained the last of your funds, but you don't regret a thing. It was absolutely worth it. Knowing perfectly well that despite what the current time may imply, all of your friends are still currently up. You ask them what they're doing at this ungodly hour, ignoring the fact that you are also up. They're playing the latest game, Big Shoot Guy, and as the amazing buddies that they are, they invite you to join. Alas, this is a game that you don't have. Buying it is out of the question too. Kyoko made sure of that. As you close the tabs on your browser and prepare to cry yourself to sleep, you notice a particularly strange tab open. It's called Your Turn to Die, Death Game by Majority. You don't remember how this tab got opened, but you semi-recognize the game, as a few people have recommended it to you. You haven't started it, or at least haven't gotten more than a few minutes in because you weren't really sure what kind of a game it was. If only there was a video somewhere that told you what kind of a game it was going to be.
Your Turn to Die is an interactive mystery visual novel that features quick minigames, clever puzzles, and crucial decision-making. You control an amnesic character who is a participant in the Death Game, an unfamiliar place with other participants who also have no idea what's going on. The goal of the Death Game is to try and escape the game alive, while working with the people surrounding you to ensure victory or to betray the others and survive yourself. The main attraction of this game is the main game, where all of the participants have to decide amongst themselves one character to vote for, and the person with the majority votes is executed, hence the name Death Game by Majority. The mechanics, concept, and characters of this game have a striking resemblance to the Danganronpa and Ace Attorney series, as there are strong mystery solving and trial elements seen throughout the entire gameplay and story. Your Turn to Die has a wide range of unique, interesting, and lovable characters, each with their own original designs.
I'm Sarah, an incredibly normal person attending school.
The main character you play as is Sarah Chidoin, a no-nonsense but kind and understanding high school girl. On her way home from school with her best friend Joe, she was kidnapped and knocked out by a mysterious force. She wakes up in the Death Game, unaware and confused of the events that led to her becoming a participant in the Death Game, but it won't stop her determination to be a survivor right until the end.
You stuck around this late for clubs? I was gonna wither up from waiting.
Joe Tazuna is a happy-go-lucky, cheerful guy who can always be found by Sarah's side, even during the worst times. He lacks quite a bit in the brains department, but he more than makes up for it with his refreshing smile. He acts as a foil to Sarah's seriousness, balancing them both out. Together, they make a wonderful dynamic that inspires the rest of the cast.
My name's Keiji Shinogi, working as a policeman.
Keiji Shinogi is a policeman who acts friendly and approachable to the other participants, but very clearly has some secrets about his past and himself that he isn't willing to share. He acts as a mentor to Sarah throughout the game in many situations, especially during the physical gameplay segments, when you need a recap of the details.
I am Kai Sato. I'm a rather unremarkable homemaker.
Kai Sato is a self-proclaimed homemaker who can always be seen carrying his trusty tools, his frying pan, spatula, and ladle. Despite his caring nature, Kai is very quiet, usually not speaking to unless prompted to. Because of this, and the fact that he acts very distant toward the other participants, he's often described as creepy.
My name is Jin Ibushi, woof! I'm a 6th grader, meow!
Jin Ibushi is an energetic elementary schooler and the youngest member of the Death Game at only 12 years old. Donning his animal cloak and paws, Jin often likes to pretend he's an animal, starting and ending every sentence with a woof or a meow. His antics are usually appreciated by the other participants, keeping the mood bright even during the darker times.
Kyutaro Burgerberg! I'm a baseball player! Second string though.
Kyutaro Burgerberg is a baseball star who towers over the other participants in size due to his height and his muscles. He acts as the realist of the group, pointing out how situations work and whether it's possible to solve them, even if said solution is not ethical. Although what he says can be correct, it can come off as very insensitive, although he does make up for it with his grand and jolly presence.
Name's Reko Yabasame. I'm a singer-songwriter.
Reko Yabasame is a punk pop star with attitude, but she cares a lot about how the participants are doing, especially the younger ones. She is often seen keeping the adults in check, making sure that they don't bear too much responsibility on the younger participants. She is always ready to put up a fight if needed and won't back down from an argument.
My name is Nao Igokoro. It's thanks to Professor Mishima that I attend an art college now.
Nao Igokoro is a timid and soft-spoken art student who gets frightened very easily. Despite how often she gets spooked, she can be very protective and defensive of those she cares about, namely her former art professor Mishima. Before the death game, Mishima and Nao had a very close relationship as professor and student, so they got along well.
Hello, I am Kazumi Mishima. I teach at a certain high school. Mwahahaha.
Kazumi Mishima is a Japanese and art professor who taught Nao. His caring and supportive nature is often mistaken for creepiness because of his eccentric look and personality, leading to him being bullied by the other participants. Despite this, he continues to support everyone, forming an especially good relationship with Jin and Nao.
My name is Sohiyori. Well, just a job hopper.
So Hiyori is a feeble man who describes himself as a job hopper, as he can't seem to secure a job for very long. He has a very strong tendency to lie to the other participants and manipulate them for his own benefit, which causes discord and distrust among everyone. The only person he can seem to rely on is his sidekick, Kana.
I'll say I'm Kana Kizuchi.
Kana Kazuchi is another young child among the other participants, but is a lot more scared than Jin, and is often known for how terrified she is. Because of how easy she can be to manipulate, So uses this to his advantage, and makes her his sidekick to aid in his own personal plans.
Hey, Sarah! Watch me chug all these sodas!
How did you even get all of these?
Your Turn to Die features a lot of areas and rooms to explore, each with their own purpose. Despite being such a claustrophobic setting with no view of the outside world, the rooms seem surprisingly spacious, giving that player the sense of exploration that is necessary to truly understand the surroundings. A lot of these rooms feature puzzles for the player to solve. Doing so gives access to more areas to explore or rewards. As the game continues and more characters are executed, the player has to quickly and carefully solve puzzles, as to ensure the safety and life of the other participants and themselves. While some of the puzzles require methodical planning and thinking to solve them, others can be focused on reaction time and problem solving under a time limit, keeping the player on their toes the entire time.
Miss Now, what is the nay-nay?
Something that really makes Your Turn to Die stand out in its genre of games is the fact that the decisions and actions that you make in the game are very important, and depending on what you do can have an entirely different outcome on the story. While failing a task or puzzle within the game can result in a simple game over, there are also times where these mistakes can cost the life of one of the participants, so the stakes are extremely high. While there is a lot of gameplay and puzzle solving to the game, there is also a big focus on character development and story, which can get you attached to the characters. As you play the game, the characters develop bonds with each other and grow as people and to their surrounding situations, so watching a character get executed can be a heartbreaking moment.
Meow, you're such a giant woof!
Oh, you're such a tiny kid!
At the end of each chapter, all of the participants are forced to play the main game, where they have to vote for one of the participants to be executed. All of the participants have 90 minutes to decide one person to vote off, and the one with the most votes is executed. There are additional rules to the main game, such as the designated roles that each participant plays, that can either give them an unfair advantage or put them at a major disadvantage. As you play this game and get used to having characters around, it can be all the more heartbreaking when you finally reach the main game and you have to actively choose for one of the participants to be executed among yourselves, making it a very tough decision. Depending on who you choose can impact the story in entirely different ways, making each person's playthrough unique to themselves. This gives the game replay value, as you can have certain characters alive in one playthrough who might have previously died in another, giving entirely new character interactions for the player to experience.
So, you come around here often?
I will kill you.
Every floor has a floor master that manages and oversees what is happening within the death game, but they also carry out the executions when someone is voted for the most. The floor masters may appear human, but they're actually dolls with an AI inside of them. Every time you reach a new floor master is introduced, each with their own unique design and personality. While they won't reveal the purpose of the death game, they take pride in how the game is run and enforce the rules to a T.
Aw, what's wrong, little girl? Gonna cry? Gonna piss your pants?
this point, you may be thinking,
Well, it's all well and good being this cool of a game, but what if I can't play it? What if this was a waste of my time? Why do I even exist if I can't play this game?
well, boy howdy, do I have some good news for you. Your Turn to Die is a browser game, which means you can play it on your home computer or even on the go on your mobile device. The best part? The game is completely free to experience, plus you don't even need to download it. There is a saving feature within the game, meaning that if you're ever interrupted while you play the game, you always have an option to save your progress no matter what is happening, and you can continue at a later time, even on mobile. One thing to keep in mind is that it isn't automatic, so it's best that you would regularly or at least occasionally save, so that if you accidentally lose the page, you don't lose progress.
Would you like some Eggs Benedict, sir?
Who's Benedict?
It's about time that the title of this video is answered. Is Your Turn to Die the game for you? If you're a big fan of games that feature a wide cast of lovable characters that go through an elimination process, this game is an absolute must play. This game takes social and ethical dilemmas to the max and shows how certain character types would react to these situations, which is extremely interesting to watch. As mentioned before, there are a lot of puzzle solving aspects and minigames that will keep you on your toes, so if you're a fan of those, this is also a highly recommended game. If you like games where your decisions matter, this would also be a perfect pick, as that mechanic is a core part of this game, changing large sections of story depending on what happens. If any of those things sound appealing in a game you're looking to play, then Your Turn to Die is absolutely the game for you.
I wish I were dead.
Baseball! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Baseball! Let's go!
Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay nay. Am I doing it, Miss Now? Am I doing it?
You got it, Professor! You're doing great!
Meow woof woo! Hype train!
Aw, I know. You don't have to say it. I know you're only looking at my tits. It's time to get beaten.
I'm sure you know the Danganronpa guy, the Leon guy. I know, I look like him. I've been told. But I am not him. I do have this cool hat though.
Aw, I know. You don't have to say it. I know you're only looking at my huge, lovely personality.